Yo, bro, I have the craziest story time, alright? I mean, obviously, with what just happened, you probably aren't gonna be disappointed with this one. So you need to just sit here and you need to understand where I'm coming from in this story time. But first, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you do actually enjoy my content. If you don't do it out of pity. What the fuck you doing? Just come on, just enjoy it. Just 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 enjoy it. Okay, so this whole story time starts roughly about 20 something days ago. My neighbors, they were going out of town. They said, "Hey, you know what? Can you watch our house?" I was like, "You know what? Yeah, I'll do it because I've known these people for a very long time, and they're very close to me, and I wanted to help out. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I was thinking maybe I could get a little bit of dough, maybe 40, $50, something like that. You know what I mean?" So I say yes. All right. And I was hesitant to say yes, but I mean they don't have anybody else that could probably do it in the neighborhood. Nobody else really knows him like I do, except for maybe a few neighbors. He gives me, the father. He gives me a bunch of things to do and everything that I have to do. It includes feed a few pets, water the grass if it gets too dry, because in Texas it gets really hot, obviously. So I agreed to do it. And in the specific area of Texas that I'm at, all the rain goes fucking just directly around us. So I knew it was probably gonna get hot, so I had to do that. I had to fill up a fish tank, with some special kind of water that I had to make. I had an axolotl, so I had to feed that. It was all pretty chill, and I enjoyed it. It was not that hard for me to do, and I was doing them a good favor. Well, all that I could think of going wrong went wrong. All right, everything just went so wrong. First off, first thing that started this whole journey, right? The first thing that started this whole journey was I went over there, and the owner asked me, "Hey, could you water our plants? They have some plants around their pool." And I said, yeah, of course I could do that. I've done that many times. It's easy. It's not too challenging. And he says, yeah, okay, great. Your hose here, da da da, whatever. So I go over there and I start watering the plants. Well, I go to turn off the hose and the faucet explodes. It literally explodes water. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, that's not supposed to be happening. So I turn the nozzle in a direction that makes the water stop exploding everywhere. I was like, oh, you know what? That's perfect. Well, I come back the next day, and the hose had a kink in it. And I didn't turn it off because every time I tried to turn it off, it would, shoot water. So this hose was on for a day, or two, I don't even remember. And water's leaking everywhere through this kink in the hose. So I flooded a portion of their backyard. Everywhere I went after this, I was like, they're not going to want to let me watch their house anymore. There's no way. But I got in contact with the owner, and we took care of it. And it was not a big issue. But next, I go over to the house, and I have to feed their axolotl. They have worms. I go over there. I take the worms that were stored in the garage. There's a fridge in the garage. Take the worms, and I go inside. Upon going inside, I have to wash off the worms before giving it to this axolotl. I go into the kitchen to do just that, and there is 1/4 inch of water on half of their kitchen floor. And of course I go in there and I'm like, holy shit, there's water on the floor. So I immediately call the owner and I tell him, hey dude, there's something wrong with your water at your house, because everything that is water related that I could even think of, it's just gone wrong. So I threw like 8 towels on it, and then I ended up having to shut the water off at their house. So now I don't have any running water to go and wash my worm off. So, whatever. I get that taken care of, right? If you thought that was it, no, that was not it. I go in one day. It's been previously hot the last few days. I remember what he said, to turn on the sprinklers. Well, I go into the garage, and I flick the switch on that turns on the sprinklers. I did that, not knowing that it turned the fridge off. So, in a few days, when I had to go feed the axolotl again, all the worms that they had melted. Like, unfeedable. It wasn't, you couldn't use them. It was just completely gone. So now I didn't have any food to feed the fucking axolotl. So, I called the owner once again, and I said, hey, your fridge is turned off. If you have anything in there, it's gonna go bad. Can I turn it back on? And he tells me, and I get the fridge turned back on. But, problem being, I can't feed the axolotl. So my dad and I go and buy worms, and we come back and put them back into the fridge. No problem, right? Well, I'm sure you guys know, there was a terrific hurricane that just happened in, certain regions of Texas, and, especially around mine, I got the worst of it. And in certain other places in the U.S., not only Texas, got it pretty bad. So, I decided, hey, I don't have to go and do all this stuff, since there's a hurricane literally going over my house. Well, what happened was something I could have never prepared for. A fucking tree landed on their garage. The same garage that had the worms I just bought. And, so much other important stuff to the family. And so much important stuff that I needed. So, all the shit that was in the garage, fucking gone. So, I look over there, I'm like, damn it, I can't do anything. I can't go in there and rescue anything. They had a cat up in there. I'm sure it's okay now, but I was worried about their cat because I had to feed it, and I couldn't even get to the cat food. And their mail was in there. Everything that was important was in the garage that now has a tree on it. And I couldn't even contact the owner because there was no service. So I couldn't even send him a picture of his mangled garage that has been cut in half by this big old pine tree. There were so many of these trees that had fallen over in my neighborhood, everywhere, dude. It was so bad. I had never seen anything like it. And probably the worst part, I did not receive power for, I think it was 5 days. 5.5 days, roughly, maybe. And, powermen, the linemen, all those guys, they were really working hard, but it was not fun. I had to go to my grandma's, and we stayed there. But, oh my god. All the things that went wrong. So, now, I have to do what I can, and they can't even live in their house right now, because the power box to their house was in their garage. So, they can't even get power to their house. And, they took everything that's worth anything out of the house, and they've moved to a temporary place, and they're gonna call electricians to come and sort everything out so they can actually live in their own home. I'm making this video because holy shit, dude, I knew this was gonna be a good story time. I know it won't be seen that much, but for the little percent of you guys that are, have come to my channel, the little percent of you guys that are gonna see this, you can't even say I'm in the wrong, At the end, a tree fell on their house while I was in charge. It almost felt like I was making it up. I would call and be like, hey, your backyard's flooded. Hey, your kitchen's flooded. Hey, your worms died. Oh, yep, now there's a tree on your house. It wasn't something that I could even make up. I couldn't text anybody. I couldn't call the owner to work things out. Why did I say that? Work things out! To work things out. I couldn't do it. So, yeah, the moral of this story time is stay in contact with the people who own a house if you're watching that house. It's important. Definitely important. Because all that stuff, I wouldn't know what to do if that all happened. I wouldn't know. I'm super happy that their house is okay and that they're back at their house and they're not harmed by the hurricane. I know it killed some people, and it was just It was very bad, but I'm happy that everyone's okay that I know of. Um, and yeah, that was just crazy. But if you guys did enjoy this story time, make sure to leave a like down below. Subscribe if you want more content like this. Make sure if you have any ideas or have any thoughts to just talk to me in the comment section. Go AWire. Also, thank you for 45 subs. I forgot to mention that y'all have been crazy. Like, I haven't gotten this many subs ever in my life. Not to mention this close apart. Like, I got plus 10 subs very, very quickly. So, thank you guys so much for that. I'm still on my road to 100 subscribers. That's gonna be freaking awesome. I hope y'all can hit that. And it's just me. Peace out.